I'm Vanessa Kirby and I'm playing Alice Tanner. Yeah, she's very much a sort of, she's very much the focal point of, or what the audience sees, the history of, 800 years ago through her, really. So as she uncovers things, the audience are uncovering alongside her and with her. So, we had some decisions to make about her because she is, in the book I think you really bring your imagination to it. When you're realising it from a script, it's quite different because she's sort of, we could go any way with her. We could make her really proactive or very passive. Obviously a lot of things happen to her rather than she makes happen. I think she's very smart. I think she's very interested. I think she's got a massive amount of empathy, and I think that's the other thing that's really sort of important about her, is that she has this amazing ability to empathise with what people went through 800 years ago. I think some people wouldn't perhaps care as much as she does, but she really does, and she doesn't stop until she finds it alongside John Hurt's character, and they go on this journey together, bringing the audience with them about uncovering something which, again, not many people know about and shouldn't be forgotten. In the novel, she's a sweet girl, but really a lot of it's about the events, I think, rather than, obviously she's a very defined character, but I think Alaïs is the one that sort of she is uncovering, you know what I mean? So there's less of a sort of, they're more as one, and Jessica and I are so different, but we love each other totally, but very different, and so I think it was important to realise them as being very separate. So I did want her to have some strength. So when Chris and I were originally discussing how we were going to play her, I really was sort of fighting for her to be very strong and, driven and determined right from the beginning. But really, like I was saying to you earlier, you never really know until you get on set and you play the scenes with other people and you work out what your relationships are and how Alice reacts to Will and what Sebastian's like, and therefore what she is like round him, Will as a character. So it was a process, and it was, we realised that actually she has to be fairly vulnerable to go through such an emotional time without questioning it and without, and if she is a really strong person, that maybe makes it less interesting because you wouldn't question her fragility with what she's uncovering. Well, it's been amazing to encompass both those periods, really, to learn all about that time and to do loads of research on it, but also to discover it alongside Alice as well. It's amazing, and attaching meaning to that. So objects like this ring, I have this ring here, which is the sign of the labyrinth, which is a symbol of, if you're part of this sort of, if you're a descendant of this, the keeper of what that means, which is the power of the knowledge, which is given to John Hurt's character. For 800 years, he lives in order to remember and to document history. Well, we were really lucky because we had 2 weeks in Carcassonne at the very beginning of the shoot, which was wonderful because you really got a sense of what the history was there and what that meant. And going up Montségur, the first 2 days was an incredible experience, and it really located us, really placed us there. And South Africa is wonderful, but the terrain is reasonably similar. And once we got the sense of what Carcassonne was like, and I went around all the cathedrals and all the churches, and there's a lot of shots of Alice walking, taking in things for the first time, like the audience would be. And a lot of it is so amazing. It looks like CGI, but it's just totally stunning, and it's all natural. I think Chris wants to use very little CGI, and most of it is real landscapes. Even the end shot right at the end is right over the mountains, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. But you would think, because it's so beautiful, it couldn't be possibly be real. Yeah, it was just important to really sort of throw yourself into that the first 2 weeks in order to bring it here, and I think we did, because all of us, all the South African crew was there as well, so we had a lovely time all together there. Working with the multinational cast has been really eye-opening, actually, because generally I've worked with British actors, so it's amazing to work with such varied people. The actor that plays Paul Ortier is German, is absolutely wonderful. Lovely South African actors as well, but Sebastian Stanley, who obviously is American, and I obviously play opposite. It's been really interesting. In fact, people have commented because there's such a different style to American acting as well. It's been really amazing to work. It's sort of more improvisational, really, and sort of more fluid, and British actors tend to be sort of slightly less, fluid, I suppose. But he's wonderful. He's funny and interesting and always challenging. And John is just amazing. Everything you'd imagine. We've had such a laugh. We don't stop laughing. Even 4 takes, we're about to go, and he's making me laugh. I'm like, John, stop it. Trying to concentrate, and then we have to start again. But he is, just fascinating. You know, I've been asking so many questions and learning a lot from him. But he's been totally charming and lovely and supportive, and he's the greatest man and the greatest actor. So it's been a real joy from start to finish with John. He's absolutely wonderful.